Shout out to all my new subscribers. Peace to all my universal family. And today, we're going to have a short build about the mixture of African spirituality and Christianity in the Bible Belt states. Vibe with me.
I been official, big dog in the yard, voted most likely to murder every birthday I start.
Peace, it's the bearded Heru, and everything is real. Let's build. But I was doing the knowledge to this book, Empty Sleeves, by Philip Russian. Actually, Philip Russian was a pastor at a church that I used to attend, that my family used to attend early on in my life. And he got a very interesting story. You know, I ain't gonna promote the book or nothing, but you know, go check it out, Empty Sleeves. But he had a very interesting story. He was born, you know, way back, probably 100 years ago, you know what I'm saying, maybe 1920, 1930 time frame. But he didn't have any arms. He got electrocuted, you know, in the woods or somewhere like that in Mississippi, and it burned his arm. So you could imagine that kind of pain with no pain relievers way back in the 20s and 30s. You know what type of pain he was going through, but he had a very interesting story. But when I was doing the knowledge to this book, like I said, he was a pastor at my church that I attended and that most of my family attended. You know, this is a real serious copy. You know, I found it in my auntie Rita, you know, Rising Power, Sleep in Paradise, to my auntie Rita. But I was going in her book collection, and she had this book. You know, and I can remember when I was a little boy that they was promoting this book. But it was a lot of flyers and a lot of notes in this book. And I came across two things that sparked my interest and really made me want to dig deep and do the knowledge to some things, and you know, get a better understanding of why my people down south think and worship and, you know, kind of gravitate towards certain things when it comes to spirituality. But this flyer for a soul ritual with meal. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? Focus in on it. You know what? Since I'm a pretty good editor, let me slap this on the screen. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, a soul ritual with meal. And I was like, a soul ritual with meal at a Christian church. This is very interesting. You know, and I come across another one, and it was, you know, basically another flyer. Well, this is the program, and this is the flyer. You know, and it's very interesting, you know, just about the things that they wanted to accomplish at this ritual. You know, and I'm saying that this is interesting because, being from the South, when we hear the word ritual, especially those who, you know, in the 85% who deaf, dumb, and blind, who really have no knowledge of self, when they hear the word ritual, you know, they thinking of something spooky, you know what I'm saying, or something that the white folks is doing. Yeah, and may I add, you know, I was born and raised in Montgomery, Alabama, but I'm a well-traveled man, so, you know, this is very significant, you know, being from Montgomery, Alabama. And let me say this. I got on this Alabama football jersey, but I don't really watch sports, you know, and you know, just to be cool with everybody and cordial and not to be just so, and, you know, I know I should be more aggressive with the get away from me, I don't watch football and all this and that. You know, I have to kind of be more inviting to my people and make them more calm and be able to stomach me. So I got to kind of know a little bit about certain things, but I don't give a goddamn about no football. But yeah, man, back to it. But the soul ritual with meal, like I said, take a look at it, man. Take a look at the flyer. But this was very, very interesting, right? Because, like I said, when you looking at the ritual, you know, it has a symbol of the uprooted tree. A symbol of the, it make you want to do the knowledge of it, the knowledge to it. You know, the uprooted tree, salt water and wine. A scrap meat dish. I automatically, having knowledge wisdom cipher. Nah, man, I understand, the scrap meats but nah. But yeah, and construction tools and an empty wallet. And those were 4 symbols in the ceremony. Now, I said this was the mixture of African spirituality and Christianity in the Bible Belt states. But this says nothing about anything about Africa. Just having knowledge of self, I know exactly where some of this stuff is coming from. And this was in 1986. And just being from down south, we got what we call down here root doctors. Like, yeah, you bump into some people sometime and they'll be like, hey man, well, I think she done put the roots on me. Or you might hear a brother say he a root doctor and he can change this and that for you, and he doing some form of witchcraft, you know what I'm saying, down south. But yeah, the root doctor. And just certain things like that. And the people of like New Orleans and in Mississippi and Alabama, it's just certain little strange traditions that you may think is strange, but it truly comes from slavery. It makes you wonder though, like I said, since they was incorporating a lot of these symbolisms and calling it a ritual. It's interesting how they have really no mention of Africa, but they kind of mix it in with Christianity. You know what I'm saying? Also, it just, sparked another thought, just doing the knowledge with one of my Rastafari brothers. And he would always tell us about the slave Bible. Him and his uncle. They would always tell me and my partner them, about the slave Bible, how they took a lot of books out of the Bible and gave it to the slaves. They didn't rewrite it, but they didn't have all the books so you could have a full understanding. So they kind of gave them, the things that would be able to serve their master better. You know what I'm saying? With their white Jesus. Being so-called born in so-called Alabama. Just from my early childhood and upbringing, they really, really pushed that Christianity on us. You know what I'm saying? It's truly the Bible Belt down here, but it's just interesting to know that that story of the slave trade, that most people, they say it's true and most people saying it's false nowadays, and in this day and time that we living in, some people saying slavery never even happened, and that's a shame. But I would be able to say, just from doing the knowledge to a lot of the old customs and traditions that a lot of our people do in down south, especially a lot of the older people who like over 100 years old, and the things that they were doing and a lot of the traditions that they still carrying on, you can tell that it was the slave trade was a lot of slaves came through down south, like I said, because it seems like they were masking their traditions with Christianity, you know, or kind of like in their own way doing certain codes, but it's under the guise of Christianity. You know what I'm saying? If that even makes sense to you. You know, like I said, this was in Montgomery, Alabama, and a lot of people, you know, we just indoctrinated with that down south loud talking, poor righteous type singing type thing down south, Christianity wise, you know, and I can see why, because I understand or have a better understanding of the slave trade, and I also know that there was a lot of different other things going on in that. Like I said, they were kind of sneaking in their traditions into the Christianity because you couldn't take their traditions into the plantation like that. You know what I'm saying? So they were kind of mixing it in. So if you knew, you knew. But like I said, if you young and you black and you say you got knowledge of self, you really do it. And I haven't lived in Alabama in over 20 years, but you know, I go home probably about once a month. I can't say that I have knowledge of self or that I know this about Africa and I know this about the Asiatic black man, the maker, the owner, the cream of the planet Earth, and I know all this and that, but I don't really know what was really going down where I come from, you know what I'm saying, or where I was born at. You know, hey man, I even got a Montgomery, Alabama tattoo. That tattoo like 25 years old, you know what I'm saying? It was legendary. I had mine first cause psychologically, I was thinking it was cool to rep where you was from, you know, cause like, you know, being from certain places, if you're around a whole bunch of people from New York, you don't want to hear that New York shit all the time. Bitch, I'm from the South. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Alabama. Oh, you understand me? But, you know, it's the same thing. You don't want to be around your partners from LA all the time and they on that LA stuff. Shit, I'm from Southland. You know what I'm talking about? But yo, you can't have knowledge of self of everything and everywhere else if you don't got no knowledge about what was going on, about where you was from. So like I said, even with me and doing the lessons and going through the degrees and, you know, obtaining certain levels of so-called consciousness, that's cool that I've been down like that for over 20 years and I'm a so-called worldly man. But what do I know about the place that my mama, you know, gave birth to me from? You know what I'm saying? So put that in your little blunt and smoke it, man, and put some more fat on your head. But it's the bearded Heru. Yo, go check them other videos out. Done some cold pieces. Go ahead and like and subscribe so you can come on and vibe with your guy. But it's the bearded Heru, and everything is real. Peace.
I been official, big dog in the yard, voted most likely to murder every birthday I start.